Okay, so what I'm going to do now is we'll go back into the modify report since I don't see any questions. We'll go into this modify report button right here. And so you saw how the report was a kind of a concise rolled up version of it. But let's just say that you don't really need a concise rolled up version. Let's just say you want to see it blown out all the way. So you can go in here and say manage hierarchy again. And you can see we have the custom report. You can see what it's telling me. It's giving me all this information where it can blow it out. But what if I just sit there and say, all right, I want to see the always expanded. Let's just everyone go ahead and click the always expanded and hit apply. And now let's go ahead and rerun this report, because now I want to show you what something like this. This is going to be a more detailed report. So based on, the system is very dynamic, because what you'll be able to do is you can see the original report we ran was at a very high level detailed, high level back end. You saw some of the information on the rolled up version from the department and then rolled down. What this does right now we're getting more detailed, and it just gives you a report that's showing all of the individual departments, giving me all of the information at the revenue and expense category level. So it's showing us, like I said, it's now giving us a lot more detail, because what we've done is now we've blown the report out a little bit more. Now, one thing I don't like about this is what this is doing right here is, since I want to see the individual departments, and I really don't care about the roll-ups, if I'm saying, okay, I just want to see what's happening at the department levels within these groups, and I don't need to see the roll-ups, this is where I'll show you how we can actually clean this report up quite a bit. So let's go ahead and, again, modify report. We'll come into this modify report button. And what we're going to do is we're going to go play with, this is the way that I like to work some of these reports. So you see the gearbox up here, right? This is the report properties button. You can go ahead and click the report properties button. And one of my favorite buttons right here, you can see there's so many different options in here. And there's, a bunch of them are just more of some of the display options. But one of the data visibility items that I want you to take a look at right here is this suppress rollups view. And the reason we'll go ahead and click that and what we'll do is now we'll go ahead and just say, all right, we'll suppress our rollups, and we'll click apply. And now what we're going to do, since we have our report blown out all together, let's go ahead and just click run the report. So remember, at the last time we saw this report, it was run by the different hierarchies. Now the hierarchies have gone away. What we've done is the rollups are, the rollups into the hierarchy. Now I've just got a report that's just showing me if I just want to see what my individual departments are looking like at each of these individual line items. So I can see each department within the E&G for CCIE right now at a detailed budget to actual view. Here in silence, we will continue on, because what we'll do is this next step, I just want to do it just for a little bit of a repetition, just to get a little more repetition in terms of looking at modifying some of the reports here. So we can see right here the total expense contingency. So within the expense contingency here, we saw all of the individual accounts. Well, if we're just looking at, again, say we're just looking at a high level, say we don't need to see what the individual detailed accounts are behind any of this information. If you right click the expense contingency, and again, we'll go to the manage hierarchy, and let's go in and we'll say always collapsed. Because what that will do is now this is just going to give us what our total expense is. We don't care what the expense is made up of at this point, but we just want to see what the total expense line is. So we'll sit there and say we want to always collapse and hit apply. And after we hit apply, we'll go ahead and rerun the report just so that we can sit there and see what the report's going to do. And so now I've got a very concise report now, where now I can take a look and see what my actual expenses are in FY21 compared to my FY21 budget. What we'll do is now we'll go into the modify report, because just because you see that we have the actuals and we have the budget here, now what we want to do is maybe you want to see what is my remaining budget, what's my available budget within each of these departments, because you have these individual items. And so what we'll do is now we want to actually bring in a calculation and show the difference between what we have here. And I'm not going to lie, this is the area where I always mess it up, because it's always it's one of those where this is where the time elements and the different elements come in. But what we'll do is we'll do our best here to see if we can do it. I've got a couple of reports that show some of this information that we can really dive into it. And I might have Kevin jump in and help me here if he sees me messing this up. So I apologize. Under this left-hand side here, you see where we have the calculations. You see it says calculations here at the very bottom. We can go ahead and click calculations. And you can see you have the different options here. But what we want to do is now we want to bring in a difference, and we want to bring in the difference here. And what we'll do is we'll bring in the difference over here on the very right-hand side. And so now what it does, this one actually gave us a very easy, simple thing because I could see right away. It knew exactly what to do. It said the change between the FY21 budget and the FY21 actuals. It still means that I think we want to go in here and we want to see the properties. Because what we do want to do is we do want to take a look at the difference options here. And because what it's trying to do is it's trying to subtract the version, the actuals from the budget. And so right now we're just, this is a very simple, it's got a little bit more detail in here, but look, all we're just trying to do right here is just show our difference between our FY21 budget and our FY21 actuals. So now what we can do is we can go ahead and run it just to make sure that our order of operations is correct. So we can see right here that the FY21 budget was $1,500 for this department, and the actuals are $754. And now what it's doing is it's showing me that I've got $746 available, $746 still available within this budget. So like I said, a very quick, simple calculation.